What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into something. Showing gratitude, rules of modern dating and understanding women, which is damn impossible. It's complicated to say the least, but if you guys enjoy it, make sure you get over to show the It's Complicated channel some love over there. The link's down inside the description. It's coming at us from Andrew. Much love, my friend. I definitely appreciate these. It's interesting to see where some of people's minds rest, especially when those people are Americans from Las Vegas. Let's see what we got in this one.
Many women complain that guys don't appreciate them enough. How do you know whether to blame men for not making enough effort or women for not showing enough gratitude?
Would you like to answer that one?
That's a good one.
Well, okay, sorry. So say it one more time before.
Well, basically, women think men need to do more. Men often think women expect too much. Which is it?
Some women don't show enough gratitude because they expect too much from a man. You know what I'm saying? They want you to give them the world, but they won't give you that in return. So,
damn, here we go. Finally, we got some men giving answers. Not just one man.
You know what I'm saying? They want you to give them the world, but they won't give you that in return.
They want you to give them the world, but you don't give them that in return. That should work always.
That's that.
Is it harder to satisfy men or women?
Women.
Women, yeah.
By far.
Okay.
A man is easy to satisfy. Give him money, beer, or a woman.
So why should men even bother trying to please women if they're never satisfied?
They shouldn't.
Listen, you treat them all like dogs. All right, I'm a dog. I'm going to treat you like a dog because they going to fuck around, cheat on you anyway. None of them hoes loyal.
I blame men.
Wow.
Why?
Because men just, I don't know, like men
By the way, I do not condone treating women like dogs, as the former man just said.
just feel so entitled always in relationships, like they just feel so entitled all the time and they need to treat us like queens. But
Men feel so entitled all the time. They just need to start treating us like queens. What the? Who's entitled now, Blondie? Just throwing that one out there.
the women need to show respect back.
It's honestly
Last part was
kind
true.
of both sides. Like it depends on the person. Of course, some men could do better, and some women could be more appreciative. You know, so I think it's like it just depends on the person. We can't really tell who does what more.
How would you define the term romantic relationship?
There's no such thing.
No such thing. It's always another dude in the picture. She always got somebody waiting as soon as you fuck up.
Hey, somebody has done this boy dirty. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Buddy on the sideline.
Women expect too much, but men do too little. Or they think that what they do is enough, and it never is.
Well, is it hard?
You know what's enough? Your eyebrows, your eyelashes. Damn it if you don't have a lot of eyelashes on your face. They look good, but that's a lot of hair around your eye.
But men do too little. Or they think that what they do is enough, and it never is.
Well, is it harder to satisfy men or women?
I feel like it's harder to satisfy women
Yeah.
because we have higher expectations.
Yeah.
So why should men even bother trying to please women if they're never satisfied?
Isn't that the whole point?
Should
That's
a
a good
relationship be an
question.
equal partnership?
Yeah, but it can't.
Yeah, 100% it should be. 50-50, I think. You give me your love, I'll give you mine.
If it's an equal partnership, how many women equally contribute to building a relationship as a man is expected to?
None.
35%.
None.
Okay. Could that possibly be a reason why so many men want sex without relationships?
You damn right.
You
The
damn
women want
right.
sex
That's what he
without
said.
relationships too, though. Like,
Hey.
Men are typically expected to court women, you know, approach women, ask them out on dates, pick them up, pay for dates, make the first move. What are women expected to do to build a relationship?
You know, you're right. If you really think about it, I feel like it should go both ways. Like, I feel like someone needs to just, like, boss up and just, like, you know, put their pride aside. I feel like a lot of people just have too much pride and just think that everything needs to come to them. But honestly, in life, if you want something, you have to go get it. So, you know?
Well, it should go that way.
Yeah.
But does it?
No. It's really,
No.
like, men are expected to come to us.
Okay. Could that possibly be a reason why so many men want sex without relationships?
It could be. Honestly, that might be a good explanation for that.
Yo, it's
Is
kind
it
of
fair to
crazy that
assume
everyone
the
that
women
this
who
man...
complain men only want
Hey.
sex is
Fucking YouTube. Stop jumping shit around my screen. It's really crazy that every single person this man is interviewing has police in the background. Look, there's police here. There was police on the bicycles before.
For that.
Right in
Is
front
it
of the
fair to
Excalibur.
assume that the women who complain men only want sex is because sex is all those women are bringing to the table?
Woo, damn, that's a hard
See-
question.
What is the definition of transactional?
Definition of transactional, a trade for a trade.
Would you agree that it's the exchange of goods or services related to business?
If we're in a retail setting.
Okay. Is
If we're in
sex
a
more likely to
business
be
setting at all.
transactional between two lesbian women or between men and women?
Men and women.
Why?
We expect things. We're women. We expect things. You can't just get it. We need food. We need other things. We need gifts. You got to take us out. You got to use your car, spend your gas money. I need to eat. I want to buy stuff.
I need some more eyelashes.
Are women doing men a favor by giving them sex?
No.
But if a man has to do all these things in order to get sex from a woman,
He doesn't have to do those things.
Why does
If
he-
he's smart, he wouldn't.
if women enjoy sex as much as men, why do they typically make a man work for it? Why does he have to earn it?
Because we get called hoes.
I don't know, men
That's
probably
true. The last two men we identified said hoes.
feel like they need to do all
I do never say hoes. I would never ever refer to any woman as a hoe. I don't care if that is your profession. I'm going to refer to you by your professional title, not hoe. That sounds horrible.
this extravagant, like, events with us just to make us feel some type of positive way. And it's really just, it's the simple things that they miss doing. Like, if you just take the time to ask us how our day is doing, like, that's literally all it takes. Or bring us out to a simple date. You don't need to do all this crazy stuff to make us feel like we're special.
Okay, well, I mean, typically, the man is expected
Everybody has a lot of eyelashes going on. What in the hell? Where did he find all these people? Right outside of an eyelash boutique?
to approach the woman, ask her out, pick her up, pay for the date, make the first move and stuff, right? What are women expected to do to build that relationship?
I feel like women are more expected to be there emotionally. Like, men are supposed to be there in a physical way, and women are supposed to be there in today's society, I feel like to support the man, to be trusting. I think that girls should absolutely be the ones to pay for dates. I think that they should take turns, and I think that women should go in the DMs.
Well,
I
just
go
go
in the
Dutch
DMs,
if you feel like that.
but not every girl has the balls to do that. They're self-conscious, and that's why.
Okay, if a woman chooses
self-conscious,
to
that's why
approach
they
a
got
man
so many
and shoot her
eyelashes.
shot, is she more or less likely to be rejected than if a man approaches a woman?
She is way less likely to get rejected. Men love attention, and they don't get that very often. So, like, if you, as a girl, have the balls to go up to a guy and be like, hey, like, what's your number?
That's a very weird way to say it. If you as a woman have the balls,
If you, as a girl, have the balls to go up to a guy and be like, hey, like, what's your number? There's no way that man's going to turn you down.
But
I mean,
men
it
don't typically
depends
like
on
women
you.
that have
If
balls.
you're
They
kinda
wanna go
crazy, I will.
Have guts, right?
They like confidence, though.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I would just use a different word other than balls, but that's fine.
Yeah, I would've
Why
totally
would men
used a
want
different
to approach women
word
when
than
they no
balls.
longer have to worry about just being rejected, but also have to worry about being accused of harassment?
I'm sorry, y'all, but these two are eyelash twins. They must have come together. He must be interviewing them in a separate spot.
Oh, if I was a man, I would be hard to approach a woman in this day and age.
So what advice would you give to a man to approach a woman that he likes without being perceived as creepy?
Go slow. Be careful. Watch your wording. Because sexual harassment, being in HR, sexual harassment is a very big thing. And
In America, because we're the most lawyered up country in the world, everything's sexual harassment. You could tell a woman that she's beautiful today and she could damn sue you for sexual harassment. It makes no damn sense whatsoever.
because sexual harassment, being in HR, sexual harassment is a very big thing. And it doesn't matter how you perceive it, but others. So you really, really have to watch your wording. So I guess you would have to meet that person on their ground level and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for.
Who is more likely to care what society thinks, men or women?
Women.
Who is more likely to follow trends?
Women.
Why would women care what society thinks if we're living in a world that oppresses them?
Because they're judged more heavily. They are oppressed, so they feel like they need to show out and act a certain way or
Huh?
fit into a crowd so that they can't be judged as heavily. A man isn't going to get judged as heavily as a woman walking down the street.
All my women out there, leave it in the comment section. Do you feel like you're oppressed from men?
Why do women often talk about how they secretly run the world, but then also complain about how they are so oppressed?
Women secretly
the best
do
damn
run the
questions
world
in the world.
because we have control over the men, the right men. But in the system, like when it comes down to the facts, men are in power. So we have to be secret about it.
When it comes
We
down
never
to
just
it,
be
women
upfront
hold
about
the
it, Or we'll
power.
ruin our power.
Men have it better because the patriarchy was built by men. for men.
I think she been had a couple
there's
drinks.
a system in place that has been going on since the beginning of fucking time, the beginning of humankind. Because men, we're supposed to be the leaders. But now, they're not taking care of themselves, so they're becoming weak. Which is why women need to step up
tight
and why
pants
we're doing what we're doing.
A matriarchy is a society run by women.
Did he just bail at the end of that? Like, no, this ain't the one. I'm pretty sure he just bailed.
Step up and why we're doing what we're doing.
A matriarchy is a society run by women.
Okay.
So if we lived in a matriarchal society run by women, what would the man's role become?
The man's role, I feel like, would still be to be a breadwinner because women, I feel like,
'Cause women need that?
typically are a little bit less proactive than men. Men like to go out and get the money, you know, have a job. Women, there are women that like to do that, but I feel like a majority of the women want to sit and like get their nails done and like.
Why is it wrong for men to objectify women sexually, but it's okay for women to objectify men financially?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
so
it is.
the reason why is because of the fact of, again, it goes back to how you were raised.
I like everybody says
2,
fact.
women objectify themselves more than men do nowadays.
Right. Well, do you think women have a right to complain about being objectified
No.
when the entire Vegas economy...
I wouldn't say women objectify themselves. I would say society as a whole objectifies women and lets them know you got to look like this, you got to be like this, you got to wear this kind of clothing, you got to have some lots of eyelashes.
Right. Well, do you think women have a right to complain about being objectified
No.
when the entire Vegas economy is built on sex?
Nope.
Okay.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Woo, yeah.
I think everybody's first job should be a strip club so they know what sexual harassment really is.
If a man wants a really desirable woman, would you agree that chances are he's going to have to steal her away from some other guy?
They won't last if she steal them.
Yeah, if you still
Personal experience.
Yeah.
But isn't every bad bitch talking to some dude?
They're talking to more than one.
So then wouldn't you have to steal her away from some other guy?
We just gotta share, to be honest. We all gotta share.
Hey, honestly, look.
Gotta share.
Never yours, dude. It's just your turn.
Bro, I feel like you hate women or something. Like, what's up with these questions?
Well, why would you assume that I hate women just because I'm questioning them?
But these questions, you say something like, why are women something, blah, blah, blah. But why do women think this?
Yeah, this is one of the offended ones, you can tell. She got a lot of the eyelashes,
Is it
too.
possible to question women without being labeled a woman hater? Is it possible to ask questions without being labeled a sexist?
It's the way you ask them, I feel like.
Am I not asking? Well, how should I be asking?
Why didn't you ask them like
Hey, so
why do men think this about
exactly, but you're asking it from your point of view.
women?
She's obviously not got an office job with fingernails that are 4 inches long. You ain't typing on no keyboard with that. G-bus. If Las Vegas has something going on, so they're gonna run out of eyelashes.
Women. It's never, why do men do this?
Has catcalling or sending unsolicited dick pics ever attracted a woman?
No.
So why do so many men continue that toxic behavior when it pretty much never works?
I would like to know the same question.
Men
Me too.
catcalling us. Like, I feel like I've literally been here for like 5 minutes and like already like 4 people have like come up to me and just like, you know?
And you're not even dressed that provocatively and stuff, right?
Literally, like, what? I literally just got off of a plane. Like, what? I had a mask on and some guy came up to me and he was like, you're so beautiful. Like, you can't even see me. What?
And one thing I was curious about that, right? Has catcalling or sending unsolicited dick pics ever attracted a woman?
No, never, ever. Hate that.
What would you like me to ask men?
Yeah, don't send them unsolicited. Just wait till they solicit you for them.
Why do men think that they are the shit? Why do men think that they have to take money, or why do men think that women have to do cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, and all they do?
I mean, I don't. You can't cook
So
nothing with them
why?
fingernails. It's gonna
What
melt
do you
to the
think of
pan.
women in other cultures and how they treat their men?
I think that women in other cultures treat their men better than people in America, than women in America do, because they allow their men to do whatever they want, and women in America like to keep their man on a tight leash, and they expect them to act a certain way, whereas like in other cultures, they can have multiple wives, like they don't have to answer to their wife.
You don't just have multiple wives in other countries. Most people who have multiple wives have to have a set income, have to have so much money that they make per wife to be able to support them. So it's not just like you can go out and randomly snatch up 4 women. That's not the way that it works.
Man on a tight leash, and they expect them to act a certain way, whereas like in other cultures, they can have multiple wives, like they don't have to answer to their wife.
Do you think those women are ignorant slaves, or are they happy, or?
No, I think that it's just the way that their culture is. Like, dating is cultural, and I feel like they're happy in their relationships because that's what they know and like what they've been like come to know.
In other cultures other than America, I think Greenland is a really good women's country, but other countries don't respect women as much as Americans do.
Y'all heard that? Other countries don't respect women as much as Americans do. I'm gonna go ahead and roll my eyes at that one. I don't think she's ever been to another country. Just looking at it.
They've been like come to know.
In other cultures other than America, I think Greenland is a really good women's country, but other countries don't respect women as much as Americans
You
do.
heard it right here.
I think that women should be on top always, no matter what culture. Women should be on top. Period.
So what would be your thought of the women who basically put their men on top? Do you think that they're just ignorant slaves to their men?
I feel like they just need to be woken up a little. Realize their worth.
I think a lot of y'all in this need to be woken up a little.
It's a double standard always when it comes to women.
Okay, so why are women fighting for equality when they only seem to want double standards?
They don't even know what they're fighting for, to be honest.
It makes no sense because when a woman hits a man and the cops show up, the man's always going to be wrong. Whether he put his hands on her or not, he's wrong.
You know, I feel like men need women. We're the reason they exist. Like, we birth them, you know?
We make you reproduce, like we continue your name.
We were made first, and then you got created from a rib.
Okay, let me ask this, right? If the thing that makes women special is being able to make babies, does that mean that women who experience menopause are no longer special?
No.
So then, I mean, can a woman make a baby without a man's seed?
No, but there's other options.
But has a child ever been
There's other
conceived
options
without a man's
that-
seed?
You're right.
There's other options. No, but there's other options. All of those options involve a man's seed at some point.
Other options.
But has a child ever been conceived without a man's seed?
You're right. But, you're right. But I feel like, sorry, I'm like scatterbrained.
If the thing that makes women special is having kids, why do so many women choose to focus on their careers instead of becoming mothers?
And that's a tough question. Hey, because they like to be treated like sluts. They say fuck them kids, and that's how it all is nowadays.
He has a special kind of mindset, though, don't he? That's remember the beginning where it says not all of the answers here reflect the views of the creator. That's the same thing that goes for here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that warning out
Think
there.
about the mixed messages men face that encourage him to be both strong and tough, but also open and vulnerable.
I think it's really difficult, and I feel like there is a lot more that we could do as a society to make men feel like they can speak out. I feel like for a long time they felt like they don't have the right to say their feelings because that's a woman's job, you know, like a woman is supposed to be the one that has feelings. And it's great for them to be strong and tough, but I think that men nowadays should look more into like fitting their personality, like showing their true personality. I feel like they cover their personalities almost more than women do in society.
So as a female growing up, we look at how are we going to dress, how are we going if we're going to get picked on at school, what do our parents think, so what do our friends think, what do our family members think. Guys don't really have that growing up, so I guess
Obviously, you've never been a man growing up.
our parents think, so what do our friends think, what do our family members think. Guys don't really have that growing up, so I guess that's why we think more self-consciously about what others think than ourselves.
Can you think of any famous female role models who aren't actual models?
Obama, or Michelle Obama.
Okay. Do you think that being beautiful is a prerequisite to being influential?
I think that it certainly helps.
Why is there so much talk in our society about things like male privilege and white privilege, but we don't talk about beauty privilege?
I feel like we should more. I feel like pretty privilege is a thing. People talk about pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege?
Do you think
that is
beautiful
not
women
a
are
thing.
more privileged or disadvantaged by their looks?
I think that they're more privileged.
Do you think that a woman's level of physical attractiveness affects her behavior and potential for status?
If they allow it, yes.
Okay, how so?
Well, a woman, depending on how they look, if they feel like they're ugly, they may feel like their status is very low. They're not going to try hard. They're not going to apply for higher positions because why? You're not going to get looked at. That's what you're thinking. But it shouldn't matter.
Is it reasonable to expect people to recognize their privileges and not abuse them?
I feel like we should all try to recognize our privileges, but I feel like once you're privileged, you get so blinded by the things that you have that you don't always see how privileged you are. You don't see what other people have, and so it can be really difficult to hold yourself accountable and responsible. We should all strive to do that, but it's not always easy.
Why are women so reluctant to admit that they have privilege?
because we don't see it that way. So when a man holds a door for us, we don't see it as a privilege, we just expect it.
Where does blaming society
We don't see it as a privilege when a man opens a door for us. We just expect it. AKA, it's a privilege.
Holds a door for us, we don't see it as a privilege, we just expect it.
Where does blaming society end and personal responsibility begin?
Personal responsibility begins with yourself because you should always hold yourself accountable. Yes, society has shaped us to believe and think certain ways, but we shouldn't blame society. As long as you hold yourself accountable, you shouldn't blame society.
If a girl is a strict vegan and she swallows, is that cannibalism?
She's technically swallowing kids.
I'm done. I'm so done. That is the most horrible but awesome question that I've heard yet.
She swallows, is that cannibalism?
She's technically swallowing
I think
kids.
she's probably protecting the future.
Is it vegan?
It depends on if you're talking to a Christian or a Catholic.
Fuck no, swallowing kids. Fuck them kids. I can't have no babies right now.
Is it vegan?
You heard him.
Hey, I don't know. It might be vegan. It's nutrients for sure.
That's animal protein. It's animal protein.
Vegans don't eat eggs.
Okay.
That was very interesting indeed. Very intriguing to see what people think. Obviously, we have an extreme over eyelash problem in America that needs to be dealt with ASAP. Yeah, if you're out there, I don't understand what's so sexy about looking like you got two black caterpillars crawling across the top of your eye. But, I mean, it is what it is. If that's what you think looks beautiful, that's what you think looks beautiful. You do you. Hit the like button if you liked it. The dislike button, but I won't believe you. Get over and check out It's Complicated channel for a lot more craziness out of Las Vegas. Until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. Love you to the moon and back. Peace.